So thanks for that introduction. As Dan was saying, I run this YouTube channel. It's a faceless YouTube channel, so I don't show my face. Everything's outsourced. So this is the celebrity channel is called. I mean, the YouTube channel is called Celebrity Workout and Diet Plans. So Celeb Workout is the channel name. It has about 24,000 subscribers. That started it about a year ago, a year and a little bit ago. But before I get into YouTube, just a little bit of background of myself. I'm Avinash. I'd say I'd classify myself as a serial entrepreneur. I started selling video games. If you guys recognize what this is, maybe some of the older folks might recognize this as a 3.5 floppy disk. So I used to download games on there and sell it. That was my first venture as a kid. And after that, I went over and studied engineering, and I'm an engineer by trade. And then it started with this passive income idea. And that's how I got started with trying to start a YouTube channel. I thought, oh, it'd be really nice just to sit my ties on the beach. So why not start a YouTube channel like everyone makes it seem to be? But it turns out it's really difficult. I failed at 8 channels before succeeding, quote unquote, with this particular channel. And along with YouTube, I also sell products on Amazon, 2 of which have been profitable. Luckily, 4 of them were not profitable, but and I'm selling 1 product on Shopify. But really, this today's focus will just be on YouTube for those who are interested in starting a YouTube channel. Please come speak to me. Maybe I could offer some advice on what maybe not to do, since I failed at maybe eight channels before this one. But really, it's about understanding the YouTube algorithm. YouTube rewards persistence and advertisers, so you have to be very consistent, and you have to make it nice enough so that advertisers will put ads on your videos. And I always see this with friends who always reach out for starting a YouTube channel. They think that they're kind of perfectionists in a way, and they're really passionate about what they do. But really, the first 50 videos really do not count. The algorithm will not pick you up unless they know you're a very serious content creator. And you'll have to decide early on whether you'd want to do a face or a faceless channel. There's different strategies to both. With face, I would say you have more of a personal presence, and you could maybe get further sponsorships later down the road. But without a face channel, so no face channel would be the faceless channels, where you could just outsource everything, and it's truly very passive. Some things to really take notice of is niche. What from my failed lessons, I'd say I've learned that niche is very important. And CPM, which is cost per milli, which is cost per 1,000 views, it really depends on which genre you're in. So if you're in affiliate marketing or investing, and I don't mean investing in terms of value investing, I mean get rich quick type of investing, that those guys pay you a lot. A lot of advertisers pay you a lot for 1,000 views. But the niche that I'm in, which is the fitness niche, I get about $6 or $7 per 1,000 views, and that kind of adds up in terms of RPM. But if you really are interested in learning more, please, of course, I can be a resource, and these are the courses that I've taken. And if you want this PDF, you can just click on it, and it's a Google Drive link to these courses. These are incredible courses. I've taken a lot more than these courses, but these ones I particularly find extremely helpful. Just the strategy for growth is what I really want to focus on, and that's where I feel like I need the most help. What I've the strategy being for the business model is I first start off with YouTube, and then after I get enough of a followership, then I reach out to sponsors, then I create a website and reach out to affiliates, and then these other ones, which are dotted lines, these would be for external traffic. So if I had a Facebook page or an Instagram page or a TikTok or email list, then that way I can get external traffic so that I can increase the viewership to YouTube. The things that I've tried so far is I've tried to make better videos so that I increase the average view time per video. This way, more people watch ads more, and then I'd get paid more. I also do have a blog, so I've started on this website, and then TikTok. I've tried that again with little success, and sponsorship. I've done 15-second products at the end of the video, and product links at the bottom of each video. So these are the things that I've tried, but that's the current strategy. So the hope is that the actual growth right now is that I have about, by the end of the year, I'll have close to 40K subs. Right now, I'm sitting at about 24,000 subs and getting paid close to 400 in terms of profit. The hope is that the projected by the end of the year, I should be close to 40K subs, and I'll start the Instagram channel as well as just keep uploading with the blogs like I have been. And then projected in the next 3 years would be to get some sponsors to add on a website, maybe an affiliate website, and then really plan for an exit. Everything that I'm gearing up is just to get an exit. There's one thing, if I know 1 Million Cups has been a great resource for asking, what do you need help with? And the one thing that I really need help on is adding a consistent source of additional income to the current YouTube channel that I have. So yeah, thanks.
Great, thank you
Thanks
for that. Okay, that sounds good. And then let's see here. I'm going to, it looks like John has already jumped in. It sounds like, John, you have something, a question, something to contribute?
Who, me, John? Did I raise something?
Yeah, you have raised your
sorry.
hand.
Whoops. Well, I'll ask a question anyways. I'm kind of curious.
Oh, okay, great.
Very interesting. I'm a small business creative nowadays, so it's interesting hearing the flows of content creation, how you get sort of eyes and stuff. I'm kind of curious the business model just around. Can you give a little more feedback around? I'm looking at the channel. I see all these great videos of name individuals. Who's actually producing the content behind? Are you outsourcing the content to a third party to producing the actual video content?
Yeah, everything is outsourced. So there's a girl in Bulgaria who writes the script for $2, and then there's a voice actor in America who does it for $5 a video, and then there's a video editor in Bangladesh who does it for $18 or $15, and then uploading, there's a guy in India who uploads it for I think $2 a video. So I'm trying to get it down to $20-25 a video, and then I've seen that I get that money back with ads in about 3 to 5 weeks.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Matthew, you're muted.
Thank you. Yeah,
Yep.
no, I'm curious, like, so, I looked at your YouTube, it's like, oh, okay, like, and my first reaction is like, okay, I don't look like any of these guys, so what, who do I want to look like? Is like the like gut reaction of like, okay, how do I evaluate the stuff? But then being somebody who comes from, a dance background and a performance background where I've had to keep my body at certain, capacities, that there's sort of a certain level of discretion around like, okay, but what is the philosophy around that movement practice, or what is the, what is informing the diet, for example? Is it a diet? Because I noticed in the descriptions there's like some dietary stuff that comes out. I guess my curiosity it is, and I might not, I might or might not be an ideal customer, and I don't know. But my curiosity is like, how do you decide what content gets put on there, and how do you validate the integrity of the content to ensure that it is actually a sound, practice that you're offering people, right, around their health and wellness? Because to me, I know, for example, like I do a lot of research on, like I do a lot of YouTube videos on yoga practices, and I can tell within the first 5 minutes whether or not the person actually is a good teacher or not, and then I stop right away, because I'm not going to put my body through that experience. And so I think for perhaps more informed body practitioners, there's a level of discretion, and I'm curious what level of discretion exists around the content that you're creating.
Yeah, that's an excellent question. That's something I kind of worried about even when I started the channel, because I'm like, well, how do you know this website is saying is real? But the good thing is that they give interviews, these celebrities give interviews about, hey, how did you get in shape? And then you hear it from the actor themselves about what they had to go through. And I definitely make it a point to include those videos in the the entire video so that it comes, because the source is very important. But unfortunately, sometimes I don't have that source. Like for the lesser known celebrities, they won't have that interview, and I have to rely on hopefully reputable magazines like Men's Health or US Weekly or something, where it gets enough views where if people were inaccurate, then people would cause a storm. But yeah, I try and make the sources as genuine as possible. But I agree, I don't really succeed all the time. I think that's the toughest part, because there could be a lot of fake news right online, and sometimes that's the only resource I have. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, Dan, can I just follow up? on that?
Yeah. No, sure.
Yeah, because I feel like there's people who will, because the question is like, how do you drive more traffic, right? So there's people who just purely respond to like, oh, that's such and such celebrity, I like them, what are they doing? And there's sort of the celebrity obsession piece of it. And then there's like the hotness factor, let's be real, like, oh, that person's really pretty, like, what are they doing? And so, but I think to be able to like, because if I think about your Facebook page or your TikTok page or some of these other marketing tools that are intended to drive traffic back to the YouTube page, I guess one of the things that would inspire me is to like know that there is some integrity around the selection of the content, because otherwise, as I'm sure you experienced, there's actually so much horrible content on the internet.
Yes.
that the art form is actually screening for quality
Yep.
and ensuring integrity. And so I guess I would get curious about like how do you see it possible for you to use your marketing strategy to elevate your content from that perspective?
That's such a good perspective. I think there's two avenues the way that I see it. One, I could go the entertainment route where it's just the glimmer factor, or I could go the route where these guys are very health enthusiasts and these guys really want to focus on their health. And I find that the viewers, and actually that's kind of my backup slide, who the customer avatar is, and luckily YouTube gives you a little bit of metrics as to who's actually watching your videos. And then it tells you what my audience watches. And then just from here, there's like vlog videos and that type of stuff. And this is just for the last 7 days, so it changes. But whenever I keep track of this, I start to realize, okay, that this is people who are doing it for a lot of entertainment values, especially these channels that they also watch. It's very oriented toward, hey, everyone's having fun while they're working out. So I think in terms of viewership, I honestly feel that it's more of an entertainment category than I think it is the informative section. Yeah. And actually it would be unfair of me to say that, because I'm not a health expert, so I can't validate that, but I try and be as close to the wire as possible in terms of authentic resources.
Would you mind doing me a favor and going back one slide? Because there was some data that I just wanted to look at this slide for a second.
Yeah.
And thank you for your response. I appreciate that.
No worries.
Interesting. Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Yep.
That's curious.
Yeah, there's along those lines too. You talked about other, eventually building other traffic pathways, or as far as website, Facebook page, some other, I don't know, TikTok or whatever other platforms are out there. As far as building that out, is that in response to, okay, this is my target demographic and that's where they go, and so I'm building it out to attract those people? Or is it more of conversely like, hey, I need to expand the demographic that I appeal to, and so I'm reaching out into these other channels? Like I'm trying to figure out why you're looking at those other channels, I guess.
It's really to make more money, to tell you the truth. It's just another source of income. I'm not looking to grow it because I want more audience, which might be a benefactor of that. But the existing audience that come visit the channel or the video, I want them to eventually end up as customers for something that they're interested in. Let's say I drive them over to a website and then they find that one of the protein bars that they like it speaks to them, and then they buy that, and then that's an additional source of income. that's the reason for the additional sources.
Okay, so that makes sense. Huba, do you have a question?
Yeah, Avinash. So a couple of questions here, and I'm trying to understand a few things. So I do write, and it's kind of started like more of from the desire of wanting to write, right? But I do write a short thing every day, and I'm curious about what you have seen between the video space and the blog, and also would like to hear from you the idea of you're putting basically all your eggs in one basket, and it's YouTube, right?
Mhm.
So if YouTube decides to they have power over you, for so to say, some platforms like Substack, which I see you're using, you can actually export your whole list and go somewhere else if you want to, right?
Yeah.
So one question is the difference between video and the written words, for so to say. Have you seen what are the differences that you have seen in terms of traction, etc.? And
Yeah.
then this issue of really owning your content, right?
Yeah, it's sad to say, but the videos get a lot more traffic, and
Mhm.
is a much better additional revenue source for me than the blog. But I think the people, of course, there's subscribers on the blog, but it's nowhere close. I'd say it's less than 500 of subscribers that I have compared to the 24,000 subscribers I have on YouTube. But it really doesn't matter, I guess, how many subscribers you have unless they're paid subscribers. So the people who go to the blog are not paid. So no one is paying for that content. And that's really the big challenge is how do I get these guys to pay? And I think you're right. Like, one additional thing that I'd want to point out about the YouTube reliance, you're absolutely right. The one thing that every YouTuber should be doing is to try and get their traffic out of YouTube so that you can own that traffic. It's much easier said than done. I'm finding out it's hard to get them to go somewhere else outside of YouTube. And it doesn't really help YouTube either, because YouTube wants people to stay at YouTube. They want them to not leave.
Yeah, I have a similar experience with I write on LinkedIn, and they prioritize the content that it's published on LinkedIn. And
Yep.
it's, if you try to bring in an external blog, it doesn't go as high, right?
Yep.
So just another question, Avinash, how are you dealing with the copyright issue? You grab a video and you put it up there, that's under US law, that belongs to basically the person who pressed the shutter, right?
Yeah.
And there's a time limit. How do you deal with that?
Oh, that time limit is a misconception. You cannot use other people's content, period. What you can do is have commentary over the videos, and that's allowed. And YouTube is very good about it, where they tell you, hey, look, this part of the video is copyright infringement. And you can just go in and you can just say cut, and you just cut out it cuts out for you that small little part. And the video is still monetizable. The video is still okay to put up on YouTube and still gets paid, and you still get paid. But YouTube is pretty good about that, and there's no penalty to the channel or anything like that. Yeah.
So you basically, as long as you are providing commentary on top of the video and it's not put out there in its raw format, then it's okay.
Yeah,
it's
that's right.
derivative work. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. It's I mean, if you're more interested, you could look at Creative Commons license. That's what it's called.
Yeah. Thank you.
I will bring up, you were talking about driving traffic to other areas so that you could own that traffic, which totally makes sense. Yeah, as far as getting subscribers to go out there. And I know that some other organizations and maybe not necessarily celebrities, but well-known individuals that have like their own blog or their own podcast or something like that, they'll sometimes say, hey, if you go to my website, or you go to this, my Facebook page or whatever it is, and subscribe there, or provide me your, email so that, I can enroll you with the newsletter, you get something, like there's some upside that's driving that traffic. Usually it's, and like with business stuff, it's usually like this white paper or information or a workbook or something like that on it. But if you had some additional content that was, like some sort of a summary that they could reference, or some sort of additional content that could drive them to that other site, that type of incentive. I feel like I've seen that work with me, and I'm mindful that they're doing it, but I'm always on the lookout of like, hey, if I'm really into this and I want that additional piece, I'll take that additional step so that I can get that content. So that's something that might be worth considering. So
the lead magnet, I've
Yeah.
looked into it, but again, I don't know what I'm doing, so I'd love some help for people who are more experienced than myself in this area. I'd love to learn that. I completely agree with you, Dan. That's the only way to do it.
It's just what is valuable to them. And it's possible that, like, just to follow up with that, sometimes what is valuable to the person, your subscribers, and what could be a lead magnet, in my experience, people ask, for that information, they might provide it. I've done that with other organizations and situations that I've been in, where I just ask the people, like, what would be valuable to you? How can we add value to this experience, and what would you suggest? And then, they might provide the input. It kind of falls into the doesn't hurt to ask scenario. At the very least, it shows that you are interested in them, right? So it looks like Syed has a question. Go ahead and jump in there.
Okay. Yeah, Avinash, that was a really good presentation, really succinct. I just had a couple questions. First comment is, my experience, a lot of people on YouTube don't want to pull out their credit card. And my question to you is, with 24,000 subscribers and this really beautiful channel with good content, a lot of color, excellent names, why not approach instead of B2C, do like a B2B, and approach maybe trainers or businesses or people who sell supplements and say, hey, I can make a beautiful video for you for X amount of dollars. And that's one question. I think that could provide an income, something I've done myself. And second question is basically just that. And also is just asking the same question, is why not use your channel as leverage to get people to make videos for others, and you'll be helping others and also probably making more money than selling items at the end of your video.
That's a great I really like that idea. Just a clarification on that, are you saying reach out to these maybe other YouTubers or maybe fitness like folks for making videos for their channel, or are you saying add a little bit of their video onto mine?
Yeah, the first, asking them, like approaching them, and saying, for this amount of dollars, I can get you on my channel. Check out my channel. They go to your channel, they see 24,000 subscribers, they see John Cena, they see all these big names. And, that's a great way to leverage what you've built.
I really like that idea. But my real goal for when I started this about a year ago was just to sell it at a multiple. So I like that's a great idea for additional source of income. But when I want to sell the channel, it'll be hard to tie that idea in if I get some
Right,
clients.
it's not passive.
Right. Yeah. It's something where they don't have to actively reach out. But I like that idea. I think I'm pretty sure I could get a couple of folks interested in that. Even the trainer that I know is interested in that. But again, I just give them my freelancers, you know, anyone who's interested, I'd just be like, just use this guy. He'll save you a lot of money. I mean, you're doing this yourself. It's just get it done for like $15, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Got it. That's all I got.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Matthew.
Yeah. How did you find these vendors that are helping you at an extremely affordable price point?
Yeah, that's really the magic here. I think the 8 failures before this really helped to find out what works. So you go through a lot of, there's no real easy way. You just got to go through a lot of freelancers and find out which ones are good and reliable, and keep hiring those guys on. So I use Fiverr mainly to for the first order. So the first 3 videos I do on Fiverr. And if those videos look good, then I take them out of Fiverr and then on WhatsApp so that I can pay them on Payoneer, which is what they're mainly used to, and do a bulk order. That's really the key to get really these very low rates. You do maybe 50 videos, and then you have a year's worth of content, and you know they'll provide you 2 videos per week consistently, and you pay half up front, and then you pay the other half at the end. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you for that tip.
And
Yeah.
please feel free to reach out, like anyone who needs freelancers. I think I've kind of studied the game of hiring good freelancers, especially on Fiverr. So please reach out if anyone's really interested in that stuff.